Hey folks, I know it's been a while since I put a video out. Today is Sunday, August 11th, which is the closing ceremonies of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Right, so I wanted to, being a big fan of the Olympiads, right? I'm just a big fan of events of the Olympics and sporting events. I used to be a track and field athlete myself, but I'm a big watcher of the Olympic Games. So the final medal count for the Paris Olympic Games in Paris 2024, you have the America tying for gold with 40 with China, 40 golds apiece, and but the U.S. handily outnumbers China in the number of total medals. The U.S. 126 and China 91. So we'll put the U.S. on top for this year. And this is, we also just edged out China by one gold in the last Olympics. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics was actually held in 2021 due to COVID, if you remember. Um, but yeah, so you have, but I'd like to just talk about the gold since that's what really matters when you think about it. Overall number is nice, having that, but the the gold is where it really counts, right? That's when you have the best in the world. Um, so again, the U.S. and China tied for 40 golds apiece. Number three spot, you have Japan with 20 golds. Number four, Australia with 18 golds. And then you have France rounding up the top five in 16 golds. All right. So, but what I'd like to focus on is the gold medal count for, between the U.S. and China. So the U.S. is a large country. 345 million. It's the third largest country by population size in the world. Like I said, 345 million according to worldometer.com. China, 1.4 billion people. So they have four times the amount of people in their country. So how does the U.S. And China have the same number of medals, even though China has four times the amount of people? Well, I would argue that it depends on the size of their middle class, right? If they're poor, you know they're more worried about just getting their basics. They're going back to the Maslow's need theory, right? Their food, water, and shelter. If you're not able to meet those, then how can you participate and worry about any type of sporting events, right? So you really have to look at the middle class. But when it comes to China, because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of their sports are, especially on the world stage, they're state sponsored, they're government sponsored. So the government spends all this money to build a sports campaign. And it's all about making the nation look good, right? It's all about making the nation look good. So they go out to provinces and they find the best of the best, and only those selected few end up going to these boarding schools around China, and they get all their meals, and everything's paid for, their schooling, and they spend so many hours a day training for their sport, whether that be badminton, whether that be table tennis, whether that be diving, gymnastics, whatever it is. All right. So, and to me, that kind of takes the fun out of the sport, because you do it because you love it, right? But it sounds like to me that some of these individuals do it because they feel like they have to. If you want, I'll leave a video link that where Lay's Real Talk kind of talks about this. Okay. But in any event, with the exception of Beijing in 2008, where they hosted the Olympics, we've outnumbered them in medals really just about every time. Okay, um, but when it comes to uh, China's sporting, their sporting events in the Olympics, you know, I know a lot of Westerners think that it's just badminton and table tennis and a lot of other sports that Westerners or Americans aren't interested in, right? Um, and it's true, they do medal. They definitely, take gold in table tennis and badminton. They took 7 golds, and between those two sports. Um, However, their big medal counts, their big number of golds actually came from swimming, from diving, from shooting, from weightlifting, right? It wasn't just, tennis, table tennis and badminton. And then in this Olympics, this is the first time where we've seen them actually um, get medals and actually get golds in tennis and the open tennis. They won the females open and also one of the doubles. They got gold in. So this is a first for them. So China's they're a force to be reckoned with on the big stage. So I don't want to take anything away from them. Definitely want to congratulate China on their success there. But you know what? When you think about it, it's overdue. It's overdue. You have 4 times the size of the U.S. You should be meddling 4 times as much, in my opinion. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that, but also I wanted to mention a special shout out to Australia. They had 18 golds in this Olympic Games, to our 40 or China's 40. And Australia is a country of a fraction of the size of the US. They only have about 25 million people total in their population. Yet they're getting 18 gold and 53 um, total medals. So special shout out to Australia on that. I don't know what's in their water, but every single Olympiad, they seem to large proportion of medals compared to their population. So good on them for that. So folks, I'll just wrap it up. A big shout out to the French and the Parisians for hosting this Olympiad, this year's Olympiad. I think they did a bang up job for doing that. I enjoyed so much and so many of the highlights, especially from the U.S. athletes and everything. The only thing I wasn't too keen on was when the Olympic Committee decided to hold the triathlon in the Seine River that's clearly polluted. I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's cool. They should have gone outside of Paris somewhere, some other location where pollution is not a factor, and not put the Olympians in any type of polluted waters, right? To me, that just doesn't make sense. In any event, folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please thumbs up. Just give me a little comment, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.